need to add anything to that introduction. Laura, thank you for doing my job. Scott, Monty, come on up. If anybody has not taken the bow tie survey, this is your last chance. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Scott.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your stamina, for making it through the day, and for your attention. Couple of things before we get started. I know I'm the only thing standing between you and a drink, so I'll try to make this as quick and painless as possible. If you haven't taken the bow tie survey, it's at bit.ly/SM bowtie. And that can stand for social media or Scott Monty, whatever you want. Okay, how many people here have heard of Ford Motor Company? Okay, at least half of the audience. That's pretty good. We are still in business. 6 profitable quarters in a row. An amazing... It was actually exactly a year ago this week. I was out at the LA Auto Show, and our CEO had flown the private jet to Washington to help support the entire auto industry for our colleagues who were there asking for a little assistance. And what an amazing 2 years it's been since then. I think the limelight that's been put on the automotive industry in general, and specifically on Ford because of our decision vis-a-vis the government funds, has been one that has, I mean, it's innumerable, the PR value that we got from that decision. But what it's done is it's allowed people to actually see what we are doing and to take a chance to look at Ford's leadership, to look at our products, and to look at our overall outlook on business. And social media is such a big part of that, and that we've seen the rise of social media kind of at the same time. So what I want to do to kind of set the stage here is to show you a quick video. I've got about 4 short videos to share with you because visually we do a lot of storytelling with videos because that's how our products and how our people come out. But I want to kind of share with you why it is that I'm so excited to go to work every day. So if we can start the video. So you can see there's a lot of reasons to be excited about Ford and what we've got going on, but the fact remains is there's 2 challenges that we're up against as a company, and the first is a very fundamental one. You've probably seen the Edelman Trust Barometer many times. The fact of the matter is people simply don't trust what corporations have to say anymore. About 14% of people trust ads. Globally, trust is down year over year. So who do people trust? They trust primarily third-party experts, academics, analysts, the media to a certain extent, and they trust people like themselves, okay? So third-party experts and people like themselves. The other thing that we know we're up against is that we live in a 140-character society. People have less attention today than they ever have. For those of you that are actually looking up at the screen, right? People are bombarded with about 3,000 to 3,500 messages every day, from the billboards they see driving down the freeway, to the ads that they see up in the subway, to even the brand on their phone that they pick up multiple times a day. Those are all brand impressions. So how do we, as a large corporation, stand out and grab their attention with this little time that they have and get them to trust us at the same time? Those are the two major challenges that we face. So I came to Ford a little over 2 years ago from Boston, as Laura mentioned. But Ford wasn't really in my sights before that. It really wasn't on my radar. And I looked at the blue oval, and it really didn't mean anything to me. The way you could look at the Nike swoosh or the Apple logo, and that immediately evokes kind of a universal emotion. Now, that's not to say that this doesn't mean something to a wide multitude of people. There are Ford enthusiasts out there in droves. But how do we start to get that to the mainstream? How do we get people to start caring about Ford Motor Company again? And in our case, a big part of that is about the humanization of Ford. You know, think about it. This company was founded 107 years ago by the very man whose name is still on the logo today. And for many people, for many, many years, he was Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford. But now, in the age of mass media, mass advertising, we've dehumanized not just Ford, but many brands. And we feel that social media is an opportunity to bring out the faces of Ford, the people from behind the blue oval. And not just me, and not just our CEO, and not just, a couple of people, but a wide variety of employees and customers. If we can connect consumers with other consumers and let them talk together, we're going to have more authentic, more real, and trustworthy experiences. So Ford's success is really built on the One Ford plan. We hired Alan Mulally away from Boeing and brought him in 4 years ago as our CEO, and he put together this very simple plan, but it's quite profound. Everybody around the globe understands that this is what we're all in for. Ultimately, an exciting, viable Ford delivering profitable growth for all. Everybody can get behind that notion. And the fact of the matter is we have global manufacturing capabilities that allow us to make global platform vehicles now, when traditionally we had been making vehicles just for Europe, just for Asia Pacific, just for the Americas. Well, that's all going away, and you'll see how that's happening through one of the stories I'm going to tell. We've clearly started to break apart from the pack. The fact that Fast Company would actually call us America's most surprising consumer electronics company is an indicator of the way we're going. How technology is a driver of people's attitudes these days. And our system works by you just bringing your phone or your MP3 player, whether it's an iPod or a Zune or whatever, into the car. And the car adapts to your technology. You don't have to adapt to the car. That's transformative. And our vehicles have been winning awards. Motor Trend Car of the Year, the North American Car of the Year from the International Auto Show. People are really starting to pay attention to the products that we're putting out there now. However, consumer sentiment still hasn't matched the reality. The fact of the matter is we're on par or better than the quality and reliability of Toyota and Honda now, the arbiters of quality for so many years. And we know Toyota had some missteps this year, and they're recovering from it. But we're actually up in that category now, not where people used to put us. And it's going to take a while for us to get that consumer sentiment up to match the reality. And that's part of why we're working so hard to build our reputation. So we subscribe to the Woody Allen theory of social media. You know, Woody Allen once famously said 90% of life is just showing up. Well, so is social media. It's about being where people expect you to be. I can open my laptop on any given night that American Idol is running, of which we've been a sponsor since the first season, and search for Ford on Twitter. And guess what? People are not only mentioning Ford, but they're mentioning Ford with the @ sign in front of it, as if they either know or expect that we have a corporate Twitter account that's our name. And when we reply back to them, it usually freaks them out. Hey, why'd you say that? And you get two responses. The majority of people are like, that is really cool that a global mega company is taking the time to respond to me individually about a question I had or a comment I had. The minority get freaked out because they're like, what are you, stalking me? Well, it is a public forum. So that's, and Twitter, you know, for us has been a really important part of our overall social media strategy because it's one-on-one communication in the public square. We're touching somebody individually or a small group of people individually, but guess what? All of their followers and all of our followers get to see it happening. And that means our reputation rises because people see that we're engaged and that we get it. And we're probably providing valuable information to them at the same time. Now, the Yogi Berra corollary to the Woody Allen theory of social media is it's the other half that's hard. Yogi was never that good at math. But it's what you do when you get there, right? It's just what I said. It's about providing value, whether it's informing, entertaining, debating, providing hard data, links for people to go check out exactly what you're talking about. That's what really differentiates us. And I'll show you how that works. We've got a number of accounts across the web. We try to aggregate a number of them on a site we call thefordstory.com. We've got a whole section of Ford social networks there. Our YouTube channels, Flickr account, Delicious page, all of our Twitter accounts, our Facebook pages, etc. It's a lot to keep up with, but we want to give people a choice as to what matters to them. And ultimately, we know it's about this notion of providing value, building relationships with people over time. So it's about being relevant in the moment. It's about being attentive to what people are saying about you and actually taking action so that they can respond. The fact that they actually have called us out previously as the only automaker on Twitter, it's not actually true, but that's the perception that they have because of our level of activity. And just to further drive home how we differentiate ourselves, this guy says he loves that he can get good information from me and Ford. Other car makers tell me I can download their latest commercial jingle on iTunes. The personal touch evokes a sense of loyalty, a face to the company, allows a consumer to relate, puts Ford back on my list. This is exactly why we're doing what we're doing. So these days, people expect to reach us in any manner that makes sense to them. And traditionally, it was phone and email, but now it's our Facebook page, it's Twitter, it's comments on the Ford story. It's any way they feel that they can get in touch with Ford. And we need to be there for them during that. We also need to bring people into the process. We need to help them understand sometimes what's going on behind the scenes. Transparency is particularly important, especially in a crisis mode, because there may be hours on end that you don't have an official response, but people like to know what's happening while it's going on. And ultimately, people can smell a line of BS from a mile away. Whether it's by sniffing out IP addresses or being spoken to in corporate speak or legalese or PREs. How many people have heard the phrase, "We regret any inconvenience you may have experienced"? Right? Well, who talks like that, right? You say, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let me see what I can do." We're training our people to talk like humans again.